Yo, yo, yo! What's happening, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to a back.
I'm so excited to talk. I'm sorry. You said I was too tired last time and I can't control it.
Oh my God, Thomas, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, but how you doing today?
I feel excited today. How about you?
Bro, I'm in a new house, new apartment, and new places with new things. I'm so happy. How are you doing? What was the best part of your day today?
My best part of this day, I will have to say, is the Reef Podcast, my dude.
Okay. Well, I know we got a pretty breezy guest today. Do you want to get the drum roll going for who it's gonna be?
I don't think we need drum rolls. I think we actually need a huge round of applause for this guy. This guy has been to the beach and back.
Okay. Clap.
Aloha.
No further introduction, guys. Please welcome Mr. Coconut himself.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Feels good to be here.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here, man. God bless you.
It means a lot. I'd rather be on a beach. No, I'm just kidding.
It's my happy place.
Who wouldn't?
Oh, and there's Snow though.
Snow! Welcome, my dude.
Yes.
Welcome.
Good to be here once again. Gonna be taking all the questions from the community and from the Discord and Twitch. So we are ready to roll, are we not?
He also does requests. If you call him on Discord, he'll read you a bedtime story for $5 and
Debatable.
I'm gonna have to
but I
go
could make
after
it
the
that.
podcast because I've already bought it.
Oh, God. Well, I want to say before we actually start that I want to thank the whole Twitch community, the whole YouTube community, and the whole Spotify community for continuing listening to us for almost a whole freaking month. Can you believe it?
dude, it doesn't even feel like it's been a month. It's been so much.
I know, right? It's ridiculous, dude. I mean, I never thought that I would actually be doing this for a whole month already. Time flies when you actually have fun.
Aye, indeed.
Alright, so I wanted to ask Coco real quick. What made you want you to come join us from the beach? I know it's really sunny out there, man.
It's a beautiful place to be. That's a fact. But if it weren't for the beach, I would not have discovered the shark reef.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to have those two combined, right?
Just a little bit. You just gotta go a little farther. You can find the reef. It's just a little faster.
That's it. Yeah, just keep going a little down in the sandbar, man. You'll find it.
Good stuff, man. You care to introduce us about yourself real quick?
Before that, sorry, I know that's a great question, but at the top of every episode, I like asking: is there anyone you think deserves a special shout out at the top of the episode?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, bud.
Oh, shit.
Hey, Coco,
Alright.
is there someone special who deserves a shout out at the top of the episode?
There's like a few people. Do I have to just pick one?
No, you can say. Go ahead.
Go ahead and say as
Okay,
many as you want,
alright,
dude.
here we go. Alright, first one, I gotta say big thank you to obviously Rachel, man, who was the inspiration behind streaming, as well as my little brother Dustin. I fucking miss that guy so much, love him so much. We don't talk often, but he's definitely the cause of the beach here. I gotta say thank you to my main moderator, Lava Skull, who is, man, I never think this would happen, man, but he was literally there for every stream. Like he's missed maybe like half of one, man, and he's there for the whole stream, and he makes sure I'm intact. He makes sure everybody else is intact in the stream, and he says hello to everybody. He says bye to everyone. He makes sure everyone is just comfortable and in their happy place, man. It's beautiful.
I gotta say, actually meeting Lava Skull whenever we actually play together, he sounds like a really laid back friend. I mean, to actually have.
Right? Man, he's a guy.
Dude, every time I go in, I'm like, I hear from him before I hear from you, and it's very rare. He's probably one of the best moderators on Twitch that I've ever experienced.
I know. I'm super privileged, and I don't take his energy for granted, and I try to make him feel appreciated and loved every single day. And you know, I feel like that's probably why he stays.
That's awesome. Well, cool, man. Thank you. And
Yeah.
special shout out to you guys.
Man.
All right, so go ahead and answer his question now.
All right, so you want to introduce yourself to a community, Coco?
Hey everybody, my name's Coco. Streaming's my fire, it's my passion. I figured when I first started, I'd be playing video games and doing artwork anyways, so might as well put up a stream and have a good time. You know, meet some cool. I'm a professional animal worker. I train dogs and work with reactive dogs, and currently working on a farm on the weekends right now while streaming full time. And I couldn't be happier with life.
Oh, that's actually awesome, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I always thought I was happy, like growing up, but realizing what happiness is a whole experience on its own.
I 100% agree with that, and it's crazy too because I always say hindsight is 20/20, right? But then it's crazy when you look back on it and you see that like, wow, I really wish like I could have seen it as it is now for what it was then, because I probably would have appreciated it even more.
Like that saying, I wish I had knew that yesterday.
I'm real excited to talk with you today for a couple of reasons. I think the main reason, though, is every time I come into your stream, and I think you're just along with you and Louise actually met at around the same time. But watching like the way you interact with people, you put so much like passion, energy, and effort into every single interaction. And on top of it, you're doing you think playing video games efficiently while streaming takes skill? You're creating art that people are paying for, or just having like, dude, it's insane the ability you have to do both of those things at such a high level.
Wow, man, I'm fucking blushing, man. Thank you. It's like, man, when I was growing up, I wish, man, and I sure wish this every day, but I wish I had Twitch, man. And I wish I had a safe place where I could go and talk to some randoms, man, and get some like advice on life and how to be a person, instead of just trying to figure it all solo and learning every single experience the hard way and just trying to build yourself back up from it.
And people have such a weird misconception, like you're raised to like be like, you gotta be careful because if you put yourself out there on the internet, people are gonna take advantage of it and like steal from you. And it's like, that's absolutely
sound like my
not
father.
Really. It's like if you're not careful, like, yeah, if you're just going out throwing your social everywhere and just putting your information on every website, that's one thing. But if you're in control of what you're putting out and like where you're putting it, like, it's a pretty safe gig, and then you get to meet so many cool people if you're open-minded.
Yeah, it's like, as long as you have nothing to hide, you should have nothing to fear.
I think I say that way more than I should as a person. It's like, dude, I got nothing to hide. I don't.
It's just like, you saying that, it seems like you got something to hide, man.
You upset about me asking something? I wouldn't ask you if I thought it was something I shouldn't ask, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
What would your superhero power be if you could have any superhero power?
I've always thought of it as shapeshifting.
Like Mystique
That would be
shapeshifting or like Beast Boy shapeshifting?
That's a good question.
I guess like, yeah, I don't know. I would like to be able to shapeshift and like take into account all the abilities within like whatever I'm shapeshifting. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if we're living in like superhero universe, man, and I shapeshift into the enemy, I should be able to have the enemy's abilities.
Ooh, so like not only is it power, but it's like a special power.
Yeah.
Okay, that's actually pretty sick. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm. Go ahead. You said what? Oh, like a mirror.
A mirror, yeah.
Okay, dude, that'd be even crazier. Like, dude, like you're like an asymmetrical copy, right? So like you look the same, but everything's opposite.
Yeah, pretty much.
If I can have any power, I'd want to teleport like Nightcrawler.
Man, see, that's the thing too. Like, I love Nightcrawler. You said that on the first podcast too, and I was just like, damn, that's a good ass answer. But I'm like, but if I shapeshift into Nightcrawler, I can teleport as Nightcrawler.
Now, would you have equally as effective control of your powers, or would you have different? Like, would you like be not as good at?
It would literally be their physical form with like my mind. So if it takes years and years to like master this ability or something, I'm probably gonna be shite for.
Fair enough. Okay. You know who does that really well? Like people with like do you remember the show Heroes?
I remember Heroes.
There was a guy who had like muscle memory where he could see something happening and then he could copy it immediately.
Wow.
It was the girls, the copycat. Yeah, I love Heroes. I actually just started watching it this year with Rachel. I've never been one for like TV and movies and such, and Rachel's like a film fanatic, and so she's like catching me up to speed on all the good stuff I've missed growing up.
Louise, I'm sorry, I'm getting an important phone call. You're gonna have to ask him a couple questions. I'll be right back.
All right. So, you say you're an animal breeder, Coconut?
I'm a trainer.
Trainer. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, or just worker. Yeah, I work with all types of animals, mainly dogs though.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, how is it like to actually be interacting with animals? I mean, do you feel like a special bond with each one individually, or?
Some more than others, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I work with a lot of reactive animals, so animals that have not had a safe place to go, that have been passed between families, that are very defensive with other dogs, like want to murder on sight, sort of thing. When I work with them, it's like it's a really rewarding feeling because you see the progress and the dog, you really start to like trust each other. It's great.
I adopted a dog, Roxy, about 3 years ago. April will be 3 years, and people are, at least in my experience, and people I've met who adopted dogs, you can just never know. You just never know what the dog's been through in the past and everything. So like, I do understand. Like, Roxy's an amazing dog, and getting to know her as a dog and how she's growing and getting more comfortable with me, it's a super rewarding feeling.
Yeah, and like as an animal trainer, you have to take all these precautions, right? So if you're socializing with other dogs and you know this dog's gonna bite this dog, you're obviously gonna go in on a leash and use the 3-second rule, and you're constantly watching for signs and listening. And there's so much to it. This body language is like key. I'm gonna say that, yeah.
Fun fact, I'm sure you know, 80% of communication is non-verbal, so that's why it's so important to understand, like, you know, how to energetically and like physically, like, put yourself where you need to be able to. I watched. Yeah, no, I get you on that, man. I get you.
Have you ever practiced silence before?
Practiced silence? What do you mean?
For example, go a day without talking and express yourself.
When I was younger, I did. My whole family did like a week where we didn't say anything to each other, like in the house. It was weird, but it worked.
That sounds pretty weird to do as like a family exercise.
Dude, my mom's a life coach. So I've just been through a lot of weird social experiments growing up, but it's led me to have some amazing conversations and open-minded perspective that allows me to have awesome conversations with people.
That's really cool. Nice. Yeah, body language is definitely key, and it is not easy to pay attention to it.
Like, you basically have to like have a one-on-one with the animal that you're working with and actually look at its expression on its face, and you can actually tell how the animal actually feels.
You're like looking at its thought process. Yeah, it's good. But pretty much, there's a lot of one-on-one time for sure.
Mm-hmm. That actually sounds like a really interesting job, though. I mean, not to get personal or anything, Coconut, but I mean, does it actually help financially? Like, you know, like, does it actually help to make you have a roof over your head and all that stuff?
Well, I was thinking about this today, actually, and I've never worked so less and have had so much money. I've been so comfortable. Basically, Rachel and I are moving this weekend next weekend to a bigger house.
Good.
That's great. I can't believe it's happened, man. Like, I've been working since I was like 14, working so hard, and I don't know where all my money went.
Hey, when you're a good person, good things come to you, man.
Yeah.
It's always good like that. I mean, anything that we actually leave positive on this world, always comes back to us in a positive way.
Absolutely.
So another thing I wanted to ask, Coconut, I know you've been playing a lot of Witcher 3. So do you actually watch the series on Netflix of Witcher 3?
I've seen it once. I plan on watching it again.
Do you enjoy it?
It was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah. I have nothing bad to say about it. It was very nice. I didn't read the books, so I know that's what they were keeping it true to.
Mm-hmm.
But from my experience of playing the game, comparing it to the show, there's definitely some times where you're just like in depth with the character evolution, and you hear like the Witcher music in the background, and it's almost like you could see the text prompts pop up to see like of what you're gonna say next.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of
It's pretty nice.
I noticed that there's a lot of Netflix shows that actually are inspired by books that actually, like, you know, they had before, and like basically, like, you know, they actually become that, which actually I actually enjoy. But I always like when they actually stick to the script of what the book is about, you know, like not just
For sure.
not
Stay
change
true.
it.
Do you have a favorite book to like series franchise?
Have you ever heard of the Darren Chain? It's like it was about vampires and tarantulas and like circus.
Okay.
Sounds like an episode of American Horror Story.
I was gonna say I don't mind like the first things, but as soon as you mentioned tarantulas, I'm definitely running away.
Say that again?
Yeah,
Tarantulas.
It was.
That's so cool. I like when you say it like that. It sounds so lame when I speak.
Darren Shane was like the name of it, and I remember being very young, and my IRL name is Darren, and I saw this on the book and I bought it and I super loved it, and it was like one of the only books I've continued to read over and over again to this day.
Mhm.
Read Aragon?
No,
Don't watch
I
the-
actually don't read often.
A lot of people don't.
So
There's audiobooks now, so ha.
so I wanted to ask Snow, do you have anything you want to ask Coconut right now?
How about the monthly question?
All right. Should we do the monthly question, Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You go.
Yeah.
Thomas, why don't you
Get
start?
away.
I would feel rude. Snow hasn't asked a question yet. Go ahead, Snow.
Yeah, lay it on me, Snow.
Monthly question being, and that question is, do you approve of pineapples on pizza?
Completely forgot what the
That's
question
what you-
Okay.
It's a yes or
you
no
put pineapple
question.
on pizza, it's a...
It's a yes or no question.
Let me tell you something.
Uh-oh.
Being the island man that, you know, you guys see me as, I fucking think pineapple on pizza is hella delicious.
We need a plethora of pineapples and dolphins.
The more the pineapple, the better. Give me that sweet on my cheese, baby.
Thanks for the question of the month, Snow.
No problem.
What about you
What
guys?
else is there?
Left in the dark. Like, is
Oh,
this a
bro,
good-
yeah, I love pineapple on pizza. I get
Alright.
pineapple pizza. Like, I don't even need a meat, bro. Just give me
Yeah,
pineapple.
right?
Dessert.
Good for nothing.
However,
Yeah,
if I'm making a pizza, if I'm making my own pizza, I'm putting a white sauce on it with like chicken and garlic, like peppers,
A little
like
bit of broccoli or something.
You know, one thing that I would like to try one day, that I actually like to drink margaritas every now and then. I would love to try a pineapple margarita.
oh, they're delicious.
I never actually tried it, but I would love to.
I used to work at Fuzzy's Taco Shop, which is like a taco shop out here in Colorado. I don't know if it's in other places. It might be in Arizona or something like that. But they have many flavors of margaritas that are like frosty and pineapple was the flavor. Coconut. I don't know if you guys are aware of this trend yet, but I ask some pretty out there questions that are specific to the person.
That's okay.
Believe me, his questions are dope.
I I would not
I'm
say
the king of 20 questions, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. They're high class quality. You know, if you answer the question, you could be elevated in knowledge.
All right. So, are we ready to ask a couple questions?
Or you want to start it off? You're going first, bud.
All right. Here we go. Are you ready, Coconut?
I'm ready.
Easiest question in the book. How old are you, sir?
Oh, let me check.
29 going on 37.
26, 27 in September.
Ooh, we got a youngling here.
He's the same age as me. I'm a little old. My birthday is
Nice,
April
nice.
21st.
Yeah.
All right. So, second question. I know your name is A Coconut, but real quick, what is the meaning behind A Coconut?
Well, Twitch didn't have Coco or coconuts, and all of a sudden I put an A in front of it, and a coconut was taken, so I put zeros as the O's, and all of a sudden we got a coconut. It was literally just set up like that. I was gonna change it. I planned on changing it, and I didn't because I gave a lot of meaning into my stream and into my name and who I was starting to become. I'm just a coconut, man, in the coconut tree. There's so many coconuts just hanging out, but I'm just one of them. Not any more different or special or less special than any of them. Everybody's loved equally, and it's just I'm just one of the people in the tribe, man.
You're mentioning the coconut tree, Coconut. Do you guys have a Discord?
We got the Discord. It's where we hang out all the time.
Okay.
Hang out. What puns? Would you say you have a lovely bunch of coconuts?
Yeah, bro, they're standing in a row.
Huh.
Got some big ones and some small ones.
How
Some
many
big as
did you
laser
get?
head.
Yeah, this one right here.
Good
Thank
stuff.
you
Good
for that.
stuff. All right. So another question I have for you is: are you part of any stream teams? If you are, I mean, which ones are you part of?
Check TV, hi.
Ooh.
That's it.
Care to
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the Tech TV?
Tech TV is a beautiful stream team where every day we live the same dream of making everybody's day better and bring a smile to you. Big old community effort. We do charity streams. We play games once a month with each other. We have professional meetings. We currently and constantly better ourselves, and it's beautiful. Love it there. Our leader is Techivore, and man, he is such an inspiration to me as a streamer.
Okay. So another question I have for you here today is: what are your lifetime goals? Not Twitch goals, not anything else, but your lifetime goals. What do you want to do in your life?
I don't even know what I'm having for dinner, man. Dude, ultimately, I just want to be happy. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, as long as I'm happy, I know I've made it.
That's really sweet. I like that.
Yeah. I've been too unhappy for most of my life, and it's just, I just want to be happy, and I want everybody to be happy.
That's
And
awesome.
I get it. It's like sometimes I can feel it like getting annoying. It's like, goddamn, Coco have a bad day once in a while. But it's like, man, Coco has bad days. He just turns them around. He's had the experience, so he knows how to do such a thing. And I want to be the living example of like how to do that.
And one thing I notice about every time that I come to your streams, you're always positive no matter what. And that's something that's something that I always praise for you, to you, man. You're always positive no matter what.
Thanks, man. It's just breezy, baby.
All right.
Those are the things you said a little bit ago. It's like you can have a bad moment, but it doesn't mean your whole day is bad.
Yep. And to be honest, I've learned that from dogs. As a dog walker, when your dog has a weird interaction where there's an aggressive dog or something, you'll notice that they immediately shake, like their whole body, and they're shaking off the anxiety, they're shaking off the situation, and then within a flip of a switch, man, they're back to normal. That one situation, not even fazed by it anymore. That's in the past. Those dogs live in the moment, soaking in the sunshine.
Waiting for their person to come back and make it.
Exactly. I'm right here. I've been a good boy.
Alright, so Mr. Coconut, how did you hear about Twitch? Like in general, like, you know, before you started streaming and everything, how did you hear about it?
It was a cool situation. I was on YouTube, and all of a sudden, I discovered YouTube dark mode. And then that same day, all of a sudden, there was a YouTube gaming section. I was like, what the heck is... And so I visited it, and there was this dude that was live streaming Skyrim. And I was like, God damn, I love me some Skyrim. I know everything about Skyrim. Let's go help this guy out. He was like his first time playing through or something. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to expect. But this guy's just like, he didn't have a webcam. He was just playing Skyrim at the beginning, and he's talking, and there's like 7 people in his chat or something. And it was just a whole experience. It was like everybody that was there were all on the same adventure together, and that's. And then my first time, so I was like, I can do this. Like this is pretty cool. I told Rachel about it, and she was just like, oh yeah, man, people like make a living off of this, and it's like their full-time job. And I immediately was interested. I was like, wait, I could just do what I do every day and like make a living and just be comfortable with life. And so I did my first stream on YouTube gaming, and it was Overwatch, and I had to take 2 shots of tequila to like boost up my confidence to put myself out there. Yeah, I was very nervous, and to this day I still get nervous before every single stream. Like, I gotta shake it off.
That's awesome, man.
And yeah, and then it wasn't until after that stream where my brother was like, why don't you do Twitch? I'm like, what the heck is Twitch? And he pointed me in that direction, and I've been following that path ever since.
Wow. Okay, so you mentioned Rachel a bunch of times on the interview right now. So if you don't mind me asking, who is she? Because every time I go to your streams and you mention her name, there's a command that pops up and talks about her. You gonna care to tell us a little bit about her?
Rachel is the sunshine to my beach. She literally saved my life. I packed up and left my life in Ontario and moved to Vancouver. And I was a very broken man. It was a very hard time in my life, and I was very defensive, had a lot of walls built up. All I wanted to do was just do myself, basically.
That's really cool.
And so the first day that I got to Vancouver, I opened up that sweet sexy Tinder app, and Rachel was the very first person, just girl, that had popped up, and I did that super like on her, and it was like 3 minutes later she just texted or sent me a message saying hey. And it was cool because, like, you know, normally girls don't like talk back to you on Twitch, or not Twitch, what's that called, Tinder. You know, you gotta reach out and put yourself out there just to like have no communication, whatever. So I was pretty excited. Yeah, it was cool. And we tried to line up, and we tried to meet up for like 3 months it was. And I was at an event. I texted her and I was like, hey, are you here right now, like downtown in Vancouver? And she said she wasn't. And I was thinking, like, goddamn, this is my last time like asking and like trying to make something of this. And so she ended up lining up something, and we went for a hike, went to the top of a mountain, sat on a rock by a river. We drank a bottle of wine and talked for 3 hours, and right then and there, it's like we just became best friends. And day by day, she had broken down every single wall, and she had just given me every single thing that I've needed in life. Everything that I felt I was missing, she just like was right there, and it felt good.
That's awesome, man. I almost actually had a tear down my eye.
Yeah, Rachel really means the world to me. She's the sweetest thing. I mean, obviously, you guys know her rowdy side, and you know she gets she gets fun. But to me, she's just like, she just calms the beast inside of me, and she's the sweetest thing to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the next question I have for you here is, what is your biggest fear?
I'm not really a not really afraid of much, but working so hard and not making a difference. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you want to touch up more on that, but I don't know
understand.
if I have any fears. I used to be afraid of leeches, like blood-sucking leeches, but they don't really bother me anymore. Just rip them off.
All right. My next question I have is, would you recommend this podcast to anyone? If so, I mean, can you name us a few?
The whole Coco community out there. That's fact, dude. To get the whole fucking Twitch out here, man. Everybody gotta come and absorb this love and sunshine. Everybody should be here.
Thank you,
Just talking and getting to know each other. Big facts. It's a great thing you're doing, bringing people together.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all supposed to be united and be equal to each other.
It's a community, man. Like community living. You said like end goal a couple questions ago. Like, what do I want in life? One thing that I would like to work towards is having a community to call my own. Almost like a plot of land with my family and my friends. Those are like super dear to me, and I just want to have like community living.
Okay.
I'll just help each other, and it's not about money or greed. And it's just love and community. Yeah.
All right. So another question I had for you as well is, do you have any recommend? I mean, I know you said like you want to recommend everybody, like the whole Twitch community, but I mean, do you have any specific people that you think you can actually bring aboard that you say, okay, definitely interview this guy because his energy is positive? Like anybody in mind that you can think of right now?
There's two. One sticks out automatically though. His name's SnowObsidian. This guy is he's, since we've met, he's like, we're super connected, and it's weird. When I was living on my own with my friends in Vancouver, it was a wonderful experience, like having my friends there, and just like being able to call upon them whenever I, felt I needed to. Mm-hmm. And Pseudo's definitely like filled that void, whereas he's always there no matter what, and he's just super relatable with me, and he's such a nice guy. He's so kind and loving, and he's also like, had these dark experiences too, and he's constantly worked with himself to like better himself every day. And yeah, I just fucking love that man.
Good stuff, man. All right, hey Thomas, if you're still there, I'm gonna throw that mic for you. Catch.
No, can you not hear me?
Nope.
I hear you now.
I was talking, I cut the mic and everything. I had a whole, I pretended not to catch and made, okay. Well, I'm here, I was talking, I had a whole thing.
I think an alien actually abducted Thomas for a little bit, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, whoa, don't you dare dare put that on me.
Alright, go ahead, Thomas.
Are you ready for some high intensity questions?
I've been mentally preparing since I've met you.
Yeah, Thomas's Thomas's mic is cutting out.
Is it not? Sorry. Okay, so I was opening my questions that were on a notepad, and I had my push to talk button as a 0, and it kept typing instead of putting push to talk. I failed you guys. I'm sorry, but we're here now. We have the questions ready. Okay. Coconut, if ever, when was the last time you were buzz cut or bald?
2 years ago. I donated my hair. I donate it every time.
Okay, Bud, that's my 9th question, and I'm gonna switch it to my 2nd question. You cut off all your hair and donate to a charity. What charity is it?
It's Angel Hair.
If you could donate it to any charity and have it be the same value, what charity would you donate?
Not done enough research.
What's that one?
It's a personal one. I've not done enough research.
Fair enough. But hey, you have it out there.
Yeah.
That's cool though. How long have you been growing out? Well, actually, I'm gonna ask this in a different question. Okay, so what did you decide to commit to first? Growing out your beard or growing out your hair?
My hair. Yeah, I every day I wake up thinking I'm gonna shave my beard, but I end up not.
Okay. So then, how long has your hair been growing out this session? 2 years?
Yeah, about that.
Okay. How long do you usually let it grow out before you cut?
It's about that time.
No, it can't be that time yet. Oh, no.
Yeah. I think I'll save it for the spring, but come summer, that's probably when you'll see me trapped.
Oh no.
Ooh, no.
I think Rachel said she wants to give me like a Sokka haircut or something.
I mean, so she wants you to have a samurai top knot?
Something like that.
You're gonna be more of a hipster than me.
I know, I don't
And
that's
I'm a
what I
hippie
want
dude.
to. I know. Help.
Okay, we got you. As long as you don't get a French press or a pour over coffee maker.
All right.
My next question for you, bud. What's your most memorable dog walking experience, both positive and negative?
What do you want first?
Which one stands out more?
Alright, the most rewarding feeling from dog walking. I was working with this Bernese Mountain Dog. She was a puppy. She had social anxiety, and she was very scared of everything and everything. I worked with her for only 1 hour every single day, except on Saturdays and Sundays. We got to the point where I could basically walk her off leash, and she would sit down for interactions and be comfortable with every dog. The most rewarding thing, and this was after a year and a half maybe of work, and I basically watched her like from like the size of my two hands grow up into this like big Saint Bernese Mountain Dog. And there's one day where she was off her leash, and we got into this habit like of like hugging each other, and she was down at a tree, and I just got down on like my one knee, and I opened my arms, and she just looked at me and came sprinting right towards me, and she just like dove right into my arms and just absorbed all my love and cuddles. And it was right then I knew, I was like, I think I want a Bernese Mountain Dog. This is the most rewarding thing. Yeah, super good.
Don't mind me, but I actually just shed a tear.
Yeah, it's the most rewarding thing, man. You know, and she was so scared of like just car sounds, and she just got so confident working with me, and it was so good. I missed her so much.
You keep like hint. I feel like this means I did a good job researching for my questions and gotten to know you pretty good, because you literally like tucked in right into my next question. What pets do you currently have, and what pets do you want to have? Like, even if there were no rules for what pets you could have, like what animal would you love to have as a pet, and what pets do you have currently?
I've got a Rachel.
Pet.
I don't have any pets. I grew up with a golden retriever, the British ones, so were white, and I guess after he passed, or kind of just before he passed, my mom ended up adopting 2 stray kittens, and they're still with my mom to this day. Love them to death. But I would like to get a dog for myself, definitely.
And the Bernese?
I don't really know. I think I would adopt one, to be honest.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But what if it was like any animal, like not just domesticated? Like, what if it was freaking Malamute? Not the dog again. What if it was a Norwalk?
Yeah, I mean that's a lot of work.
I know, right?
A lion might be cool to like go and visit and chill with, laying on a rock or something.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
You're one brave soul.
Well, I mean, if we were cool with each other, you know.
Right.
Hey, man, we cool?
You mind if I just lay here and smoke this herb?
Alright.
My next question: what would your spirit animal be?
Lion.
Easy as that. Lion.
Yeah.
Have you met your spirit guy yet at all, ever?
I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this on Twitch, actually.
Really?
let's just say I've taken a shortcut to visit the spirit animal.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you have.
Yes.
You didn't gotta tell me how you used to visit. My mom's a hypnotist, so like I got to do a whole like meditative hypnotherapy session for it.
Yeah. Damn it, bud.
Crazy. Okay, well then, what about this? I like this question. I thought this was a super good question for you because there's a bunch of really beautiful beaches on this planet. If out of all the beaches you have been to so far, what's your favorite beach, and then what's a beach on your bucket list, or if you have a couple?
That's a good question, man. I don't think I have a favorite. I just like being by water. Catch me by the lake, or the river, the ocean. As long as it's a nice day and it's sunny out, and I can hear the waves, like I'm in my happy place. But I do really enjoy sand, though. That's nice.
Did you go to like one of the white sand beaches or like the black sand? Like, do you research beaches? Do you look into beaches at all? I'm just curious.
No, it's a good question. No, I don't. To be honest, like I like the greenery that comes with beaches too. Like I've been to beaches on the East Coast, like on Prince Edward Island, and it's super like grassy and a little rocky. But on the West Coast here, it's more just like some of the shoreline rocks. But then on the other sides in like the bay, there's just like beautiful long like California beaches. And as much as I like those ones, I find they're a little populated, and I do like my privacy.
I would say probably like a Caribbean beach, basically, like around the Caribbean. Those are actually really nice. Somewhere also like in Hawaii or something. That'd be wonderful. Super nice vibe.
I was waiting to say that, but like a Hawaiian island. If they formed a new one, I'd be like, it'd
be super breezy. I love Hawaiian culture and everything too. Like, it's beautiful.
This question's out there. You ready?
Yep.
SpaceX going to Mars. How do you feel about SpaceX? How do you feel about space exploration? Do you believe in aliens?
I believe it needs to be done. Yes, absolutely. Do I personally want to go to Mars? Fuck yeah. But do I also want to return home? Hell yeah. But I understand that there's that step that we have to take. I'm all for it. Absolutely. I believe as humans, it's in our roots to venture and voyage, and discover and Do I believe in aliens? I've experienced aliens. Yes.
Would you be willing to share that story?
There's been so many times they've been floating above me, and I've seen so many things in the sky. It's been crazy. I'll tell you my first.
Right?
That's right.
Okay.
So my first time seeing this stuff, I was walking my brother home to my mom's, and I was in a really dark place in my life, and I was looking for I don't want to say anything to believe to, but I was looking for a purpose, And my brother was definitely a huge inspiration behind my spirituality and developing myself as myself. And we would have these crazy intense talks, just not just as brothers, but as friends. And it was crazy in-depth conversation. And I think we got on the topic of aliens or something, and we were in a park, almost to my mom's house, and I just remember the words saying you just have to look for them, and I was I didn't believe it. I was that's dumb. You don't just look for them and they appear. Until I looked up to the sky, and I'm staring at the stars, and there was these two stars in particularly that stuck out, and it was super crazy. I was just staring at them, and all of a sudden, the one I was staring at started to drift to the left, and it was not a plane, not anything like that. And I was just watching it kind of glide a little bit, thinking oh look, it's a shooting star, and then all of a sudden it just vanished like zoomed way out into space, like in a blink of an eye. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, that was weird. I wouldn't have believed it until the second star that was right beside it did the exact same thing. Slowly drifted, immediately went back, and I was like, okay, all right, they're probably just shooting stars. Until they came back. They shot backwards, like almost like that hyperspeed thing, and they came back into their position, and it was the craziest thing I've seen.
Wow.
That's my first sight of them. Yeah, just basically stars. It's cool.
I think everything that's actually space related is actually really interesting, because me personally, I actually believe there's actually life out there besides us, because there's no way that we're only the living things in this whole universe. There's gotta be something out there besides us.
Yeah, it's a crazy thought to think about. I love thinking about it. I love talking about it. I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours.
Well,
Probably
We'll
more
have to do that
hours.
in the future, sir. Because that's something I could talk about for a while as well.
Nice.
well, what I was actually thinking about, now that you actually brought the topic up, Mr. Coconut, me and Thomas and Snow usually do like a little episode once a month that we discuss a topic. That could be a future topic that we could bring you aboard for UFO talks.
Dude, that'd be beautiful.
Alright.
Just the extraterrestrial.
And sorry to interrupt, Thomas. Go ahead, finish your question.
No, it's all good, bud. No, bro, this is just a conversation. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
All right, keep on going, buddy.
Okay, dude. If you could take over the development of any game franchise, what game would you pick?
I don't want to ruin any of them.
How about just be a part of them? Just like you get to have a say in your
I would-
count.
Well, as you guys know, I'm an artist, and I went to school for 3D graphics design and animation. And if I got in that industry and I quickly got out. I loved the work, but I hated how much of my life was dedicated towards it. Just like sitting at the computer, modeling and animating, and it was called crunch time. The longest shift I pulled was 22 hours, just to be back 3 hours later, do it all again. It was shortly after where I got out of the industry, but if I were to go back into it, I would love to work for Bethesda. I think that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Skyrim games and modeling swords and all medieval stuff too. That would be wonderful.
Have
They were
you
like the Elder Scrolls
LARPed?
Yes, once.
Oh,
For a
so
whole
much
weekend.
fun.
LARPing was when I actually felt most happiest.
Dude, it's so true though.
You're 100% yourself in that situation, and I basically was wielding a sword and shield, wearing 32 pounds of chainmail for the whole entire weekend, and just yelling and roaring, fighting fucking orcs and snakes and spiders, getting loot, and I had my best friend there with me too. It was just the best time ever.
Every day is leg day when you're wearing 32 pounds of chain.
You said it, brother.
Bro, that's amazing. That's so much fun. LARPing is probably one of my... Dude, I'm surprised you don't, like, cosplay more and do, like, boffer weapon design.
I have cosplay redemptions since Twitch came out with this and I have a couple costumes always close by that I can put on, but
I
I find it's a lot of work.
Fair. And just not the type of work you wanted to, like, put effort into, like...
No, but I do. I just don't have the time or energy currently at the moment. But
Fair
it's something
enough. Bro, I'd be behind it. I feel as a black person it's difficult to cosplay because not too many of us out there.
it's a touchy thing. People either take it or they don't, you know? It's like...
It's like, I can know who you're trying to play, but come on, bud. And I'm not even dark, so it's like, come on. It was the summer. It was a hot summer that year, alright?
How many questions do you have left, Thomas? Just
I
curious.
have one more, Louise.
All right.
Last question. First piece of art you were paid for, and then the favorite piece of art you've ever created.
Once Shining RuneScape had commissioned me to make him a full-blown 3D strip, and I basically had
3D what? Hold on, you might cut out a 3D what?
3D overlays for a stream.
Okay.
And basically, if you guys have played like the original RuneScape,
Yeah.
you start off that login screen. I basically revamped that for his like starting soon screen and everything. It was like
that.
yeah, it was the first one I've done. It was beautiful. Put a lot of work into it. I've learned a lot from that project. But that one, I would like to like almost redo it.
And if you don't
Because I
mind me
loved it
asking,
so
who was
much.
that for?
His name is Once Shining RuneScape RS.
If you're hearing that out there, you just got a beautiful shout out by Mr. Coconut himself.
Once Shining RuneScape is a true supporter of the coconut tree, man, since day one. He's such a breezy dude. He's always come in with unconditional love and sunshine for everyone.
My love is always conditional.
What's the condition?
Your hair has to stay beautiful.
All right,
Specific
ladies and
conditions
gentlemen,
for everybody.
I wanted to announce that Mr. Snow here is actually gonna start reading the questions from the Discord itself and from the community. So if you guys are ready, Coconut, are you ready for some questions from the viewers that are watching you right now?
Yes, sorry. I'm
Alright.
ready. Lay 'em on me. Every question. Let's go.
Hey Snow,
Dream
you're
job.
on.
Let's go.
I'm on. Catch the mic. So, first question comes from Stone Pseudo. What is your dream job?
Dream job is definitely streaming. Waking up, going to the beach, and chilling with Johanna. But also, I super enjoy dog walking, and this year I've started my own dog walking like business, working under my own name and everything, and that is a super rewarding thing, and I love it. I love how the clients can like see me interact with the dogs, and every time I work with a dog like this, I always get such positive feedback by the owners telling me that their dog is never the same. Basically, once I work with them, but in the best way possible. Like they don't react with such excitement or love and positivity to anybody else except for like me, and it kind of, I guess, makes them feel a little bad. But it makes me feel
And
good.
to add on to that question, what is your dream dog breed?
I like saying this. Irish Wolfhound is like
Me too.
cool. Yeah, but they're massive and like, oh man, they're cool as hell. But it's not
Literally
really
what I would have said.
yeah. But I don't know. Yeah, since working with and the Saint Bernice dog, her name was Zelda also.
Ooh.
Yeah, how cool is that? Yeah. I was working with, so
I just
think
love that name.
yeah. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite. Boxers are really cool too. Like I like boxers. I like their energy. They're fun.
All right. So what's the next question, Mr. Snow?
Next up comes from Mark Market Andrew Amitz. I apologize if I butchered the pronunciation on that name.
You did.
And you already touched on this one a little bit, but if we can go a little bit deeper with it, the question is, what is your history with drawing and art?
Basically, I was in grade 12, and being the middle child, I had to please my parents, and they're forcing me to go to college and everything, and I had no idea what I wanted to do with it. I knew two things. I knew I liked video games, and I knew I started to draw in my notebook that year. And so with my mom's help, we kind of looked into what would interest me, what I would want to do, and yeah, being a video game creator kind of stuck out to me. So went into this program not knowing how to draw, not taking a single art course in my whole life, and I had to create a portfolio. There's like perspective drawing to do, drawing of hands, as well as any 3D graphic stuff that I've done. There's so much stuff that I needed to do basically in a matter of 2 weeks.
Oh
So
my.
I pumped this out really fast. I got some like good quality paper and such, and I sent it in, and I heard back from them, and they accepted me. And I was like, okay, well, there's two things: either this is a really shitty school, or it's a really accepting school. And yeah, we went in, and my very first class, oh my goodness, it was a perspective drawing. And I go to class, and we're drawing those 3D cubes, you know, that you draw in grade 10, grade 8 or something. And my teacher's going around the class, and he's looking at everyone. He's like, okay, all right. And I was like third last, and he comes up to me, and he's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, my squares. This is my cubes, man. He's like, no, my 3-year-old daughter draws better cubes than this. He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, oh. He's like, where's your ruler? I'm like, I was supposed to bring a ruler. I did not bring a ruler to his perspective class.
Gordon,
and yeah, it was a pretty intense experience. But I learned a lot. So when people would be like, you're so talented, I'm like, no, I'm not. I gained this skill like through blood, sweat, and tears. Yeah. So my first drawing that I submitted to the teacher in that class, he gave me 0.5 out of 10. And I was like, whoa, like I've never done this bad. Like, I'm used to doing bad, but not this bad. And at the end of year 3, I handed in a drawing. I got 9.8 out of 10. It was fucking dope. I learned so much. I grinded hard, man. It was super humiliating, but I regained it, man. And with a lot of practice and a lot of work, and a lot of the breeze, we overcome our obstacles.
Breeze helps.
Keep that sunshine, right? Side up.
Yeah, I was a very dark position. Like, that was when I first, in college, I started battling with my demons too. Like, really like trying to better myself, and it wasn't going well like internally. So I think probably putting myself into the artwork helped.
Same person asking this question. Question being, what makes you angry to be furious with somebody?
When someone's very close-minded and they're not taking a step back to listen or to understand.
All right.
That's the stuff that like I kind of can't deal with, and I just feel like turning my back, because you can't tell people how it is. They have to figure stuff out for themselves. You can help make them realize, but they have to make it click. And when you're in a heated argument with someone or something, it's like you're just saying stuff just to say stuff. I hate the feeling of being flustered and not being in control of like myself. That's when I get flustered and angry.
Von Vic, I'm gonna ask one half of this question because the other half, the second question, I don't feel is appropriate.
You can go ahead and ask the second question.
Let me step in real. I want to step in on something that Coconut just said. With the listening and like not being able, that people can't hear. I can't remember who said this quote, but the quote went, "You can't answer a question that someone's not asking, even if you know the answer to the question they haven't asked yet." Right? Because that's totally a thing.
Yeah,
Especially once you like learn and you come to certain levels of understanding, right? Because it takes a certain level of this is my quote, right? It takes a certain level of understanding to understand there are different levels of understanding.
Wow, talk about catch 22, almost like that.
But it's so true. And then once you have these understandings, you can't like make someone understand something if they're not even trying to understand it.
Exactly. It's
similar to like, yeah.
I got into it.
You can a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can teach someone to learn, so you can teach someone the content, but you can't make them learn.
Why did chicken cross the road? Because the gift horse was looking at the A's before they happened.
All right. Go ahead and ask those 2 questions from the person. You're permitted to ask the second question, by the way, Snow.
Yeah, gotcha. Question 1 is, can you play any instruments?
I play guitar, bass, used to play trombone and the trumpet. I play a lot of drums, like I'm a percussionist, and I can sing.
Mm-hmm.
A little.
Oh, you can sing?
A little.
Oh,
I took vocals
my.
lessons and such. If that counts.
Okay. Next question.
Second half is, would you ever go to a nude beach?
I've been to a nude beach, yes. there's a lot of old people, let's just say that.
There's a lot of reasons. Bring a hair iron or something, man.
Yeah, a lot of old people, man.
All right.
They stopped caring, that's why.
Exactly.
Go outside and wear clothes.
100%, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, bam! Asks this question. Streaming and working like you are now, do you ever see yourself having to stop streaming?
It's crossed my mind, what would happen if I just stopped streaming. And ultimately it goes back to why I started streaming, man. It's like, if I'm just gonna be sitting at the computer doing artwork, whether it be for myself or someone else, or playing video games, I'd rather be hanging out with everybody else. And I can't see myself now ever doing this kind of stuff and kind of like not stream. There's some days obviously where I'd rather just like play a game off Tarkov and like get super loaded and such and not have to worry about my bank account in Tarkov or set certain video game. And like, you know, like there's times and places where I would rather just have some me time, but I can't ever see myself not streaming at this point.
You have so many people who like care and love the fact that you put yourself out there to be a part of. So it'd almost be like a disservice to those people if you stop.
100%. And I can't live with myself if I were to do that, because like, again, it goes back to what I said. I wanted to have this safe place when I was growing up, and I feel it's my responsibility now to uphold this. And now that we have this safe space, like, we have to keep it, and we have to keep it rooted, keep it watered and nurtured, and it's gotta stay strong.
I'll say it's a pleasure being able to be a part of the beach and being able to enjoy being breezy with you, and the fact that you are doing this and that you put your time, effort, and energy into your community. It's a pleasure and it's an honor.
Thank you, man. I've noticed that like even throughout the day, I will like conserve my energy, just so I can go like 110% on the stream.
Stone Pseudo asks this question. Yeah. What is your favorite game currently?
God damn it, Pseudo. I feel I've gotten addicted to Tarkov recently. It's been super addicting. I love the feeling. I've always, I was gonna go in the military basically, and like do my schooling through that and make a career throughout the military, and go and like most of my family has done this, and so I figured, you know, fucking please mom and dad, here we go, let's go fight this war. And I've always loved games where it's kind of gory and there's death, simply because it like fuels something inside of me. And I feel video games are definitely a healthy way to go about this. But yeah, regarding Tarkov, it's a beautiful, intense system that you put yourself in. And it's a really in-depth game. There's a lot of mechanics.
Every time I go into a stream to watch someone play, they're either staring at a bush that's a mile away because they're afraid of getting shot, or they're looking at like a trash can and trying to get ammo. I don't get it. I don't understand the game at all.
Yeah. Tekavor had gifted the game to me, so I was like very blessed about that. I've watched him play it a lot, and it's intriguing. I'm also really into Mordhau, like right now. It's another bloody game. it's like Call of Duty, but with fucking medieval swords and such. It's really nice, and I love the whole medieval genre. Is like I'm all about that. Like you guys know, I got that sword strapped to my chair and everything. Like
Medieval era is the best era, hands down. Period. And
yeah, something about that genre fuels the fire inside of me.
I'm gonna
It is
speak a
beautiful.
question in right now because I want to put you on blast in front of everybody about it. When is there going to be a D&D campaign, and why can't I play? Because I want to play. I can't play because it's not here yet. I need it to be here so I can play. When is the Breezy D&D stream happening?
There is a lot in the works to this. I could give you guys a little insight on it. I've actually
Please
wanted to
do.
keep like a lot of it secret because I want it to be a big thing like that we're gonna do. But everybody that's like we've made a connection with here on Twitch is gonna have their own like section on the island. So like Lava Skull, for example, he has his cave. Pseudo's got his forest. Louis got his reef, like in the water. There's all these different sections on this one particular map that we call the island. And during these D&D sessions, we'll like be hosting these things, and I'm gonna basically be having 3D graphics for each of them and have them all integrated and mapped out with animations, and there's so much I have planned. It's gonna be super freaking sweet, but it's also gonna take a lot of work, and I've realized that.
Well, I'm big into D&D. I really, really enjoy it. I have a lot of the content. I support and keep up with everything. So I'd love to help with that in any way I can help with it.
Definitely, brother. Definitely.
Uh,
Yeah, it's good. I'm currently in the stages of learning the monsters and abilities. Lava Skull had been super kind enough to send 3 massive textbooks of D&D lore and creatures. So much stuff, man. Like classes, everything. And we're gonna get super in depth. So I'm kind of studying and preparing.
Alright, so the next question, I'm actually going to combine these two. Party Hat Bam asks, do you have any tattoos? And the combination would be Von Vic asks, if you had the money right now, what's a tattoo you would go out and get right now?
That's some good questions. I have one tattoo currently. I got it when I was 18. I think I was going off to college. My dog had just passed away also. But it's the Triforce from Legend of Zelda. If you guys have played Ocarina of Time, it's like the view of the Triforce when it's in the Sacred Realm. So it's like 3D kind of. And I felt it was suiting because I was going into 3D graphics design and animation as well. Like, so artwork's like tatted on my body in that sense. If I were to get a tattoo, I've only got one tattoo. If I were to get a tattoo, it would be something along the spiritual sense, I believe. Rachel and I were actually discussing getting a tattoo together. It's just something like super minimal.
Get 2 Jerry's.
If you were to hold up your index finger, and if you look at it front on, if you were to tattoo on the side of your finger a tiny little eye, I think it would be super cool just every now and then just to put up that eye in front of your third eye and just be like, stay woke.
That's actually sick.
Yeah, it's just a little one. I think we were gonna do that together. I would like to do that together.
You put it on her forehead and I need you to open your mind for this conversation.
Honestly, dude, that's the thing. It's like, it's also like a reminder for yourself. Like, you just gotta take perspective and take a step back.
All right, next question.
Alright, Party Hat Bam asks, do you ever sell photos where you live?
Do I sell photos?
You mean
Where
artwork?
you live?
Yeah, like
I'm
art.
just-
Sorry,
Or
sorry,
artwork.
artwork. Sorry, artwork.
Oh, I've thought about it, but I haven't. No. I
Oh,
thought
I get it.
there's at my dispensaries and such. There's some people's art, and I've thought about definitely putting some wood burnings and such. Yeah, but yeah, it's something I've just crossed my mind, but I've not taken action against it.
Ian from Party Hat Band. Growing up, did you ever find yourself in a fight?
I've been in a total of 2 fist fights in my life. One was with I was in grade 7. This guy was my best friend. He was one of those guys that when it's just you and him, super fucking cool dude, but when everybody else is around, he starts bullying you, picking on you, so he's the bigger. And one day I basically just had enough, and I didn't throw any face shots or anything, but I threw him to the ground, and he never picked on me again, pretty much. Second time, good old, I'm Canadian, I play some hockey. I was in a hockey fight. It was good. How can I phrase this? Basically the guy wanted to hit me really hard, like just check me, like you full speed, like skating from the center ice, like wants to ram me into the boards. I wasn't about this life, so every time he'd try to do this, I would either pass the puck away or just move away from his hit. And there's this one time he called me a pussy. And man, the people in the coconut tree know it's so weird that I don't like, and it kind of just gets the other side of me riled up. It's like immediately I just become drunk and I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And that's pretty much what I told him. I'm like, all right, next drop, let's go. So the ref dropped the puck and Buddy started skating at me full speed, and I'm like, why you coming in so fast, man? Why you coming in so fast? And right when he got into my hitting distance, I just fucking hit him with one punch in the face, and he dropped. And I just skated away.
Yeah.
I was my dad was watching that game. He said he saw him drop like a sack of potatoes. Just hit
Did
the
you
eyes.
put in the penalty box for that?
I did, yeah.
Next question.
I did.
Alright, Von Vic asks, will you sing something for us?
Do the alphabet song if you're gonna sing anything. Do something sweet and simple. I just know that we're getting.
Birthday to you. I'm not gonna say Bonnie. Sorry.
That's close enough, though. That's close enough. That's close enough.
Dude, it's so funny. I was gonna sing Toss a Coin to Your Witcher. Oh my god, that's literally the first thing that popped into my head. Sing a song. Toss a coin to your Witcher.
All right.
Crazy T UK asks, will you please carry me in your scav backpack, you cheeky breaky you?
As long as you can tell the difference between a scav and a PMC character, yeah. If you cannot kill me, yes, absolutely. I will carry you, and you can come play, 100%. I experienced that last night, taking in a new guy. And I shot the scav, and then he panicked, and he just started shooting me. I was like, after the 4th shot, I'm like, you gonna stop shooting? And then he shot again, and I just dropped. Yeah.
Asks, what's your favorite indie game?
Indie.
Indie. There's a few. Yeah, I definitely say for indie, man, Mordhau would probably be my favorite. It is so fun. Yeah, Gang Beast is a good one. But yeah, Mordhau is my favorite go-to fucking. I don't drink alcohol or anything, but I would literally drink a beer and play Mordhau, get rowdy, relax, and slice and dice. It's beautiful.
So I just step in real quick because we are getting close to our time for this episode. I know there's probably more questions that need to be asked. If you guys want to ask questions to Coconut, you can find him on all his social media. Coco, do you want to plug your social media real quick?
Yeah. I'll be streaming shortly after here too, guys. So if you want, you can come on over to the Coco tree and drop us a Jerry and such, and say hello. Get that sweet breeze with it.
One more question, perhaps?
Yeah, I like this, man. I like answering these.
I'm gonna leave back to Louise if we have time.
We'll do the last 3 questions right here that just popped up. I'll ask them real quick. How how easy it is to be so breezy.
How easy is it to be so breezy?
It's really hard, actually. Some people come in and just be like, dude, how are you so happy? And you have to experience the bad to experience the good, man.
It's a lot of internal work, I'll tell you that much.
It is. There's been a lot of people who've tried to make me unbreezy on the stream, and end result, we've turned them around.
Reagan.
All right, and the last question: will you ever play Devil May Cry?
Yeah, probably. I do. I do stream redemptions. So if someone wants to redeem a stream, just gotta let me know time and place.
All right. Well,
Nice.
I gotta say, we actually learned a lot from you today, Coconut.
Hell yeah! What was the
Maybe-
best thing you learned?
I actually love the fact that I learned more about your job that you actually do. I mean, interacting with animals and everything. That's just, I definitely want to talk to you more about that. And I definitely want
nice.
to get in touch with you about the whole UFO experience more often.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, there's more.
Just so you
There's
guys
lots
know,
more.
on the Reef Podcast, we're actually going to have a topic that we're going to bring Coconut along to talk about UFOs and space and random shits out there.
Conspiracy theories.
Ooh, I love it.
Alright, so before we wrap this up, I actually want to thank again the Reef community, the Coconut community, for being here. You guys are awesome. And for everybody that came from Twitter, from everything, overall. That's all I gotta say. Everything.
Cheers, guys.
You
You're
guys
real
are-
MVPs.
But I want to do one quick announcement real quick. We actually gonna announce who the lucky people that are actually gonna be of the month of March. I forgot to say that. I'm sorry, guys. So,
Before we do that, let's wish happy birthday to YSG Snipes. Happy birthday,
hey,
bud.
happy birthday, buddy.
Birthday. I knew it was somebody's birthday today. I started.
Happy birthday from the Reef to you. We hope you have a good day. Now let's go back to the show.
All right. So let me let you guys know who we're gonna interview on March. We got a couple people. Let me do a drum roll for you guys. All right. So the first one we got is actually gonna be Our Day Gamer. He's actually a really awesome individual that actually plays a lot of indie games. He's really laid back, very supportive on Twitter, I gotta say. So he's gonna be an awesome addition to the Reef Podcast. We also got Miss Asher78. If you're listening to the Reef Podcast, you actually are gonna get an interview on March. Also, we're also gonna interview one of our favorites that actually has come a lot of times to the Discord to chat and encourage people, Mr. The Fat Juice himself. Fat Juice! And we also got the really professional Apex player, Mr. King Agni himself. So all those guys are going to be interviewing the month of March. And also I wanted to let you guys know that on the week of the 14th and the 15th, I'll be going to Comic-Con those 2 days, and on Sunday evening, an hour after it ends, I'll be actually going live on the Reef Podcast with my good buddies Thomas and Snow, talking about the experience that I had at Comic-Con. I'll be doing an image slideshow of all the images that I actually took pictures of at the convention, and you guys can ask me any questions and we'll definitely answer them in the comments below.
Thank you guys so much for being a part of the podcast today. My name is ThomasGovens. I'm going to leave you with a be patient, be happy. Appreciate all of you guys and your time. Hope you enjoy.
And thank you again, Coconut, for your great community, and thank you, Snow, for being part of this as well. And thank you to everybody that's listening out there on YouTube and Spotify. You guys are awesome.
Cheers. Stay
And
coconutty and
you
stay
all.
breezy.
Stay breezy indeed, guys. You guys have a good one.
Speaking of getting breezy.